it's Monday, and this morning was one of the most frightening things we'd done, certainly in anticipation, because we were going to a prison. It turned out to be a men's prison. We thought it was going to be a women's prison, but it was a men's prison. And I guess the fear you experience before you go into one of these places is that you may be liable to physical danger. I don't know. So we walk into this place, and we saw Oliver Twist on the television the other day. And I said to somebody, is this Shakespeare or is this Dickens? Because it was a kind of combination of the two. A funny little village made of prefabricated rooms, cardboard and hardboard, and little tiny alleys. Anyway, full of people, full of men, full of children, full of women. But it's run by the council, which is made up by the prisoners. Now, I'll tell you something, I have never felt safer than when I was walking around this prison, because the council is run by a man called David and his lieutenant, who is called Lewis, and they run the place with a rod of iron. And when I say they run it with a rod of iron, I mean almost literally, because they have a punishment system that uses a rather horrible looking piece of wood and a piece of twisted, I think it's plastic covered metal, something like that. They use those as punishments for men who do something against the rules. And as we walked around, accompanied by the head of the council, not a problem, not a problem. These two men, they really were in control.
The thing is, the guards had absolutely no control over the situation at all. It was purely run by this council, isn't it?
I don't think I saw a single official once we'd passed the gate of the prison. The people inside run everything. That's what happens. That's the way it is.
And the women and children, they live with their husbands and fathers, and they just come and go throughout the day. But it's a system that's based on money. You have to buy everything when you're living in this prison, as far as we could gather. If you haven't got any money, then there were workshops where you could earn money, or you tried to get somebody to bring you in some money. It was so crowded. I think there were 280 men and 80 children and about 60 women, all living in really a very small area. I don't know, totally overwhelming. I don't think we've really processed it yet, have we? There
was no official medical assistance for the prisoners, as far as we could tell. None of the stuff you would expect in an English prison. But you know, in Bolivia, in the last week or so, the same thing has happened again and again, that you seem to be in darkness, and then suddenly you see little points of light. And we were walking down a corridor, and we're with Daniel, who runs the pet project here, and suddenly a little boy runs out of somewhere and throws his arms round Daniel. And this is a child Daniel has known in the past. And it was the same with one of the fathers who knows that Daniel is connected with the project that helps look after his child. It's like a light bulb going on. It made me cry. The tears came to my eyes. I was so moved by it. I so love the fact that people care, that there are people working so hard to make things happen here.
And actually that child, the reason Daniel knew him is because he goes to Friendship House. And Friendship House is a project that's supported by Toybox. And it's for the children. They sleep with their parents in the prison. We hope we're getting our facts right over this. And then they go to Friendship House for the rest of the time. And from there, they go to school, they get their meals. And the staff at Friendship House, their whole passion and commitment is to help these children grow up in a different way so they don't end up on the streets. The area where we had met the street kids before is just next to the prison, so the possibilities of these kids ending up on the streets is absolutely huge. And Friendship House is where they're kept safe and where they grow up.
Wonderful people. And in England or in Europe, in America, if you do Christian work like that, you might write a book or appear at a festival or give talks or something. These people don't do that, they just do the work.